What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Forza Horizon 5 here in the autumn season of series number 15. Today we're driving around in our Mercedes-Benz SLK that we unlocked in the last video. If you haven't seen that, definitely go check it out. But today we're going to be jumping in to our next seasonal championship. So let's go and take a look at that. So I think we're going to do the Papa Noel Seasonal Street Racing Championship to get that 1999 Lotus Elise. And our car restrictions are a Class 800, and we've got to use Retro Supercars. So I've got 3 cars set up. We'll go ahead and jump into our first race, and I'll see you guys as we start that race. All right, here we go. RUTA NORTE is our first race. Jumping into the 2005 Ford GT to start it out here. The tune sheet for the tune we're using will be up on the screen now if you want to check it out. You'll see how this thing handles in this wet street race. Already a little slidey, that's okay. Up into second. Got a BMW, I think that is up there. So we can't catch up to it. So just for reference, before we get too far into the video, I'm going to use a different car on all 3 of these races for this championship. Just so you are aware, you do not have to do that. I'm using 3 different cars just to show different options that can be used. So if you find one car that works out really well for you, you can use it for all 3 of these races. So just be aware of that. You know, don't go out and set up 3 different cars just because I did so. You can use one and be just fine. You'll maximize your returns. Obviously, you know, setting up 3 cars is way more expensive than just setting up one. But also, if you do find a car, or if you use one of the cars I use and find a tune that works out really well for you, definitely go drop it in the Bomb Gaming Discord server. There is a link to that down below in the description. And then inside that server, there is a channel dedicated to nothing but the Horizon 5 festival playlist, you know, cars and tunes and stuff like that. So I post mine up on the tune sheets, or with the tune sheets. You don't have to do anything fancy like that. You can literally just go in there and paste it in as plain text. Just give us the car that you used and the share code for the tune. So just there to try to help out other people. You know, you have to understand that not everybody has every single car, and that's why, you know, I try to give at least 3 options of different ones that can be used. So just be wary of that. And we're about 10% through this race, or we've got 10% left in this race. We are absolutely killing the Drivatars, making it look really easy. And here's the finish line, and we'll go through with a little bit of style in our Ford GT. So that worked out really well for us. First place finish. Something important too is you do not have to come in first place in all 3 of these races. As you can see on the far right there, I did get 20 points for coming in first, but if I hit continue, this is the championship leaderboard, and this is where it matters if you're in first place after all 3 of the races are done. So we'll take a better look at this after the second race, because we'll have 2 races worth of results there. So I'll go ahead and jump into our next car and into our next race. Alright, here we go with Festival GATECRASH, and jumping in to the 2004 Porsche 911 GT3, and the tune sheet will be up on the screen, and we'll see how this tune can do in this race. We do have dry conditions, which is nice. Just gonna run into the back of a Ferrari and another Porsche, I guess. Here goes the F40. We're handling it pretty well. I was going to use that. I think it's the Elise GT1, I think is what it was. I decided against it just because, you know, it's a pretty good car, but wanted to have some fun. And see how these other cars could do. I think everybody... Oh, easy. Alright, so here's the lesson. pay attention to where you're going. Rewinds are your friends. And yeah, probably brakes are, you know, pretty handy when it comes to sharp left turns. So if you need to take anything away from this, video, those are probably three good points. This thing is a little slidey compared to the GT, but we are up in the first. Again, rewinds are your friends. It does not penalize you for having rewinds on, so your best interest is to just keep them on. I am going to go ahead and tell you that this is probably not the tune to use. While it is fast and able to get up into first, it's just not great for the turns. So I would go ahead and stay away from this tune unless you know, I mean, I guess realistically, like, if you're using this car for 3 different races, right, or all 3 of the races, you might get a handle on it. That's something that kind of, like, puts me at a disadvantage as far as, like, I use one car and then switch, right? So I don't get a good handling on how each of these cars really handles over, you know, a couple of races. I have to, like, kind of get used to them in, you know, a matter of minutes. But I mean, like, if you account for the braking, I think it's fine. But you know, just using the GT would be my preferred option right now, because I'm pretty certain I could have taken that turn relatively flat. But that's just me. We're looking good still. We've got a decent enough lead. Kind of gotten an understanding that I need to brake a little bit sooner. I can't push this thing like I was pushing the GT, but it still feels, I mean, it feels good to drive. I won't, you know, knock it for that. It does feel good. And we are going to win. We did end up getting a pretty good lead there at the end, so. But there we go, another first place finish. And we'll take a better look at those points now. We should have 40 in total. We did have a 6-second lead, so we actually had a 5-second lead last race, and I mean, it really doesn't matter race to race, I guess, but anyway, so we got 20 more points for coming in first. If I hit continue, we are at 40 in total on the championship, so we just have to make sure that we stay ahead in points no matter where we finish in this third race. If we finish last, we get 3 points, or maybe we get 1, I don't remember. We just have to make sure that we have more points than any of the other drivatars. So we're going to jump into this last race, and we're going to jump into our last car. All right, here we go with Branhas de Tapalapa. And we're jumping into the 1993 Jaguar XJ220. Let's see what this thing can do. Up on the screen, as always, will be that tune sheet. Let's see if this thing is a little bit more stable than our Porsche was. I feel like we're already sliding out there. I'm not a big fan of that. This is such a long car. Oh, where are we going? Off the road. Not great. Okay. Let's concentrate. Hard on the brakes. Hard on the brakes. Alright. It's a good turn. We gained a little bit of space. I guess more or less we reduced the space in front of us is what I should have said. Up into third. Hard on the brakes through here. That's a pretty sharp turn. That was another car I debated on using, the Diablo ahead of us. I don't know why I, chose against it, but I did, and I feel like I should have used it. I really do like the Diablos. We just got this Ford GT up ahead of us. This car is okay. It feels like a boat to drive, but it's working, I guess. I say that as we run off the road. So let's see if we can't get back on the road there. Yeah, it just feels heavy and hard to get around these turns. Out of the 3 cars I've used, my recommendation would be the GT. It just felt the best, the most nimble. And I mean, that's probably just, it could just be that fits my driving style the best, but You know, that's just what felt good to me. This thing just feels so sluggish, I guess, around turns. I like being able just to zoom around turns. It does feel faster, at least in, you know, correlation to the GT in front of us, the Drivatar. I feel like we could get him if we got a long enough straight, but it's the fact that we can't make these turns very easily is what's holding us back. So my recommendation would just to be use that GT with that tune, but that's just me. Get him on that turn. Let's see if we can't hold this position. Yeah, we got it. All right, so that's gonna be a first place finish for us. At the very end, we got into first. So, yeah, like I said, my recommendation would be use the GT. That's what I've got to say. But we did get 20 more points there. If I hit continue, we are at 60 in total on the championship. So that should get us that victory. And that should get us that Lotus Elise. Alright, but there we go. That is the Papa Noel Street Racing Championship here in the autumn season of series number 15, and how you get this 1999 Lotus Elise. So I hope you guys did enjoy the video or found it helpful. If you did, either definitely leave a like on the video, definitely get subscribed for future Forza Horizon 5 content. I should have the rest of the festival playlist videos for the autumn season coming up throughout the rest of today, so definitely get subscribed if you want to stay tuned for those. But I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.